I think what's really important in regard to what you're asking is to really consider mindfulness as a beginning, not forever, and not an ending, meaning that once you bring mindfulness into your life and become more aware and have this foundational awareness of your senses, your thoughts, and your feelings, it's what do you then do with it? And based on neuroplasticity and the brain's ability to change, it can also change and tilt more to the negative, in such that the negative selection bias in our ancestry kind of tends to look at the glass half empty and also a way to protect ourselves. But what we now know is because of positive neuroplasticity, we have that ability to change our neural pathways and our neural connections and grow up to 1,400 plus neurons a day just by in response to how we use our brain. And so we can be using our brain, though, for the positive, or we can be using it for the negative. And so what I like to encourage is that when you're teaching mindfulness, you want to provide, the basic foundations of mindfulness, what mindfulness is, mindfulness practices, and continue that on through your teaching with someone, but then to also bring in ways for them to resource themselves, ways for them to be aware of the basic needs they already have met for them, such as having clothing on their body or being able to drink clean water, breathe clean air. And also to work on taking in the good, pulling weeds, planting seeds, getting rid of the people that drain them, noticing who nourishes them and supports them, teaching teens how to engage in self-care, and doing so in levels of self-care. So from 1 minute, hey, what is some, like putting perfume on or shaving or brushing your hair, is something that shows yourself that you matter for 1 minute, all the way up to something for a whole day, like spending a day with your best friend or doing something you really enjoy. And so bringing in these micro moments of this positivity, you can be bringing in, these wonderful moments and almost accessing them as what I call hot. You think about a fire that needs kindling and oxygen, it needs resources. Well, we too need resources. Teens need resources. And so what I say is hot, having an experience, opening the experience, and taking in the experience. So it's really attending to something that's pleasant or positive for 12 to 15 seconds, 6 to 9 times a day can in fact turn that negative tilt toward the positive. And what I'm saying too is to notice it doesn't have to be a big event. It doesn't have to be a football game, a dance, getting into the college you want, getting the job you want. It can be many little micro things. It's noticing that, for example, I have this wonderful cup and it was handmade. And I love that I have this wonderful, yummy caramel coffee to drink in it. Or the fact that I have a pumpkin here that I actually grew in my own garden. It's noticing little things that are always around us that we don't notice. And for my Canadian people here, my Roots cool Canadian scarf that I have on, I was thinking about, so I was pretty excited about that. So it's thinking about all the little things that make you excited and get you happy. And that's what also is part of being mindful. It's mindfulness-based for a reason. It's not just mindfulness, and it's so much more. It's gratitude and compassion and self-care and really taking in the good.